Hello everyone, Squid Does Dev here, and this is devlog number, I believe, 5. Yes, devlog number 5. Right, so first and foremost, I will acknowledge that there was a bit of a gap between entry number 4 and this video, but just some things got in the way, life, chores, visits, the World Cup, that kind of thing. But I'm back now, and I have a lot of work to show you, of course, because good enough to warrant another video. So here we go. Right, so you will no doubt be able to see the most significant bit of what I've managed to achieve since the last video, which is art. Look at this. This is probably what I'm most happy with from, well, compared to the previous video. I have a background image here. You can see that it's got this really nice looking like volumetric cloud formation. It's got like this nice like retro looking sky, and then it's got some like hills and grass and stuff, which I will admit are fairly low detailed, but don't worry, they're not finished. So yeah, you can see how everything has like a sort of like yellow gold hue tint kind of thing. Because I had the idea of this, like the scene being like a like golden hour sunset kind of thing. So the sun's coming from like over here-ish, which is why you can see like this bit's like these bits shaded off. So, but yeah, I'm actually very happy with how this turned out because I've never really done anything like this kind of pixel art before. So to be able to have finished this in, I mean, yeah, it did take a while. It's what I spent the longest on. But to be able to have finished like the sky and the clouds and to have them in Unity and be set as the background image, I'm actually rather proud of because, yeah, I've never done anything like this before. So yeah, that's probably the biggest visible thing, at least, that you can see that is different. Of course, there is also some other art that I've managed to do. If I take myself into ball here, for example, click on the ball, you can see I also have a sprite of a tennis ball. You can see that it's got some shading on the right side, and it's a bit lighter on the left side. Ultimately, this will mean absolutely nothing because while it's in the air, the ball just rotates non-stop, so the shading will look completely inaccurate. But I think I might just let that one slide, to be honest. And that is not the only other piece of art, because you can see here that I have a ball indicator sprite. Now, if I just check that the ball launcher is enabled this time, yep, there we go. Right, let's press play. Let's hop up onto this platform, wait for the ball to launch. Up it goes, and look, there we go. The ball indicator is showing, and it looks a lot better than just a plain old green square. I think it looks way better suited to the type of game that I'm making and the style of it. Let's just like fall down for a bit. Yep, you can see that it's still tracking the ball as well as it did before. And yeah, I think this definitely looks a lot better than just a blank green square. So yeah, that's all the art that I've managed to import. I'm actually rather happy with it. But of course there are a few more things relating to the art that I've managed to do in the past couple days. You will notice that the sort of main background image here has copies of it to the left and the right, and we'll get to that later. The first thing I want to show you will require the game window being dragged into the bottom bar here. So if I press play, if I pause it actually and disable the ball launcher, if I press play now, you will be able, and if I move my character left and right here, pay attention to the background. You can see as I move my character and the camera moves with the character, you can see the background image starts to move as well. This is a parallax effect. So the background isn't actually one image, it's actually a layer of images. So the clouds are one layer, the sky is another layer, and the two like grassy bits are also their own layer as well. Each of them has like a a parallax object script on it, which gives it just a parallax strength, and then also records like the length and the starting position of all the of the 4 different layers. And then of course I added some logic to the camera script, and it allows it to like operate this sort of parallax effect. And of course, a parallax effect is actually rather simple. It's basically for every like unity unit the camera moves, for example, this like grassy foreground here, this will move 0.6 unity units in the same direction, and like the background grass could move like 0.4, and the clouds could move like 0.2, or you could set one of the layers to move at 1, which basically means it's moving directly with the camera, which is kind of pointless, but I digress. It's this cool, in the end, it achieves this cool like parallax effect, which I'm also rather happy with, although admittedly this thing was actually rather simple to make, because the simplicity of the parallax logic meant it didn't actually take that long to make. Yeah, there's also another feature regarding the background. Like I said earlier, you will notice that each component has a left and a right. So if I continue moving, let's just zoom out for a second. If I continue moving my character to the left, watch closely. Yes, you can see the sky, the clouds in the background there, suddenly jumped to the left. So what this basically means is that the illusion of a repeating background is created. And how this works is, once the camera makes it to the end of the length of the base sort of like sprite here, so you can see the camera is almost at the end of this sort of background hill. So if I move my character ever so slightly to the left, see, it jumped forward. So now the middle, like the middle section, not the left or the right, but the middle bit jumps back to be in the middle of the camera / the player view. So in this way, the player never actually reaches this bit, but in this way it allows for the illusion of infinite sort of terrain. And of course this applies in the right as well. So if I keep moving left, once it gets to the end of this bit here, the middle sort of sprite will jump back to align with the middle of the camera view. So if I move left, here we go, there. So basically what this means, I mean, I can't keep moving left forever because the platform ends, but let me just showcase it moving to the right as well. You can see that it'll just keep jumping and it'll just keep appearing like the terrain goes on forever. So yeah, we have an infinitely scrolling background, which is also very cool and was also quite simple to implement. But yeah, there we go. Those are the parallax effect and the scrolling backgrounds. Yeah, and before you comment, yes, these grassy bits are not finished. I know they look very underwhelming and under-detailed, and you can see that there's like a clear kind of split where the two connect, where the left and the right connect, but don't worry, those aren't final. So yeah, that's the art and the parallax and the infinite scrolling effects, of which I am very proud of. There's also some other stuff regarding scene management and like UI that I managed to do soon after uploading the 4th devlog. I just didn't get around to showing it in time. But yeah, there was a gap between me doing the UI and scene management stuff and the art, because yeah, aforementioned life events and stuff, which if I can remember what they are, will show them off. If I go into level 3 here, a prominent problem of the previous devlog was that you could load into the UI scene, which of course had no level, no game logic, none of that, so it was just a blank scene basically. So if I jump all the way up here and then catch the ball like this, you can see a different sort of panel comes up. It's instead of saying catch and then you move on to the next level, and I could press play and then load into the UI scene and then break the game. It comes up with this different panel, and all I can press here is menu. And it takes me back to the menu scene, which of course has the options, which I already talked about last video. Now if I press play, I can launch myself into the first scene, which of course looks much better than the previous scene. So if I catch the ball here, of course this is the default one. It just said catch next stage, no text underneath. If I press next stage, here I am on stage 2, and then I can still progress from level 2 and level 3. And then once I get to level 3, of course, I can just go back to the beginning. So there we are. We have a finally fixed the scene management problem, where I could just load into the UI scene. Of course, I've got a pause menu. I did that by pressing escape. Just sets the time scale to 0, of course, although of course you can see how the ball is still rotating, so I've still got some stuff to do here. I can go into the options menu, but of course that still requires a little bit of work. And yeah, I can press resume, and it just resumes the time. So yeah, there we go. We have a fixed scene management problem, fixed scene management issue, which means the game can now finally loop on itself, and the workings of a pause menu. And then, of course, all the art stuff I was talking about earlier. So yeah, that's about all the progress that I've managed to do since DevLog 4. Yeah, all very significant, and stuff I'm actually very proud of. And I know I basically say that every video, but I am genuinely very happy with how this art is turning out so far. Because, I haven't really done many things like this, so I think this is pretty good for a first attempt. But yeah, that's about it for DevLog number 5. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one.